Welcome to 5-Minute English Daily. Today we are exploring a fun and very useful topic, idioms about time. By the end of this lesson, you will understand 5 common time idioms and feel confident using them in your everyday English conversations. Here are your 5 vocabulary words. The first word is time flies. Time flies. This idiom means that time passes very quickly, often when you are enjoying yourself or are very busy. For example, I cannot believe the weekend is already over. Time flies when you are having fun. The second word is in the nick of time. In the nick of time. This expression means just before it is too late, at the very last possible moment. For example, the train was about to leave, but she arrived in the nick of time and managed to get on board. The third word is once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon. This idiom means something that happens very rarely, not very often at all. For example, he almost never visits us. He comes to see us once in a blue moon, maybe twice a year. The fourth word is kill time. Kill time. This phrase means to do something to pass the time while you are waiting, usually something not very important. For example, our flight was delayed by 2 hours, so we walked around the shops to kill time. The fifth word is behind the times. Behind the times. This expression describes someone or something that is old-fashioned, not modern, or not up to date with current ideas. For example, that office still uses paper files for everything. It is completely behind the times. Now, let us look more closely at how these idioms work in real conversations and everyday situations. Imagine someone asks you, "How was your holiday?" You could answer, "It was wonderful, but honestly, time flies when you are relaxed and happy. Before I knew it, the 2 weeks were over and I was back at work." That answer sounds natural and fluent because the idiom fits perfectly in that moment. Now imagine someone asks, "Did you finish the report on time?" A good answer using our second idiom might be, "Yes, but only just. I submitted it in the nick of time, about 3 minutes before the deadline." That would have been very stressful. This phrase is perfect for situations where timing was very close. What about our third idiom? If someone asks, "Do you and your old school friends still meet up?" You could say, "We try to stay in touch, but honestly, we only get together once in a blue moon. Everyone is so busy with work and family these days." This response sounds very natural and gives a clear picture of how infrequently you meet. For kill time, imagine you are telling a story. "I arrived at the doctor's office 30 minutes early, so I just sat in the waiting room reading a magazine to kill time. It worked, and the appointment came around quickly." This is a casual, everyday phrase that fits perfectly in spoken English. Finally, for behind the times, you might hear someone say in a work meeting, "Our current system is really behind the times. Other companies in our industry have already moved everything to the cloud, and we are still using software from 10 years ago." This idiom works well when you want to politely say that something needs to be updated or modernized. Notice how these idioms make your English sound richer and more natural. Native speakers use them constantly without thinking, so the more you practice them, the more automatic they will become for you too. Now, for your quick recap. Our 5 idioms about time today were time flies, which means time passes quickly. In the nick of time, which means at the very last moment. Once in a blue moon, which means very rarely. Kill time, which means to do something while waiting. And behind the times, which means old-fashioned or not up to date. Try to use at least one of these idioms today in a sentence, even if you just write it down in your notebook. The best way to remember new vocabulary is to use it actively. Thank you so much for learning with 5-Minute English Daily. If this lesson helped you, please subscribe and come back tomorrow for another 5 minutes of useful English.